guys. Hey, everybody. Great to see you. Deborah King. Must be Thursday. So I know we want to meditate today. That's really why we're here, right? But let's just talk about a couple things first. First, I have some big news I want to share with you. I'm pretty excited. Exactly a week from today, on Thursday, next week, at the same time, 2 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to be teaching a free webinar. So I hope you'll come. And it's got, the topic is really how to use energy medicine techniques to protect yourself in these very difficult times. And of course, I'm talking about the pandemic. And you know, we're very aware of how to take care of ourselves. Most of us are, from a Western medical standpoint. And that's great. I'm not denigrating those techniques at all, but I want to give you other techniques that you can use. And so I've been really wanting to share this, these thoughts and my research and this material since summertime, and you know, the thing's still here, right? So I think you'll really enjoy it. It'll be really interesting, and just an hour. So come one, come all. Again, the link's right there in the chat window. It's deborahking.com/webinar. I'll repeat that for all of our friends on Facebook. deborahking.com/webinar. Just sign in and come hang out with me for an hour or less. And then, of course, if you miss it that day, I'm sure we'll deliver it to you later so you can, you know, listen to it later as a podcast. Okay, that's number one. And then number two, I do want to talk about liminality today. If you got the chance to see my blog earlier this week, you knew that I was kind of on that topic. First of all, what in the heck is it? It's kind of an unknown word, right? It's a reference to thin places and thin times, and refers to rites of passage and states of transition. And you know, they're really innate qualities that's either within us as an individual, or a place, or a space. And I talked about them a lot, and I always do every year around Halloween, because what they call Hallowtide in the old days, we call Halloween, you know, it's Halloween, All Souls Day, All Saints Day, make up a big period of liminality, one of the biggest in the year. And it's so big for us that we, think about it, we do costumes, we do horror movies, we talk about death a lot, or think about death, even if it's very symbolic, as in costumes. So Halloween is a thin time, but there's a thinner time, and that's right now. And it starts right about, what is today, the 10th? It starts about anywhere between the 6th and the 9th of December, and lasts till the 6th to 12th of January. So it's a whole month. And it's a real optimum time for you to connect better to the vast force field that's beyond us. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. There's a veil between our worlds, and it's gossamer thin this time of year. So it might feel super heavy in July, but it really lightens up now. And it's also an uneasy time. And you know, we humans, we're not that thrilled with being uneasy, are we? That's what the pandemic is really showing us very forcefully, is that we don't like to be uneasy, and boy, it makes us uneasy. So, you know, how many of you have said to yourself, you know, 2020 is my do-over year, everything's going to be different in 2021. Like there's going to be some magical thing that happens to us all on January 1st, right? And, you know, the virus just, you know, leaves and goes to Mars or something. I wish. If you're looking to you know, do over, the thing to do would be to improve your connection with the rest of you that's in another time and space. There is way more of you, and you can access it. You really can. So, you know, we think that we're encased in these little bodies of ours, but we aren't. The most of us, the greater part of ourselves, is really beyond our human body. Your soul can't possibly fit in your your physicality, your skin can't contain all of you. For most of you, is still above your um, seventh chakra, okay, or your eighth chakra. And it takes a lot of work on yourself and somebody like me to help you to get your access to your higher self in your eighth, and then all the qualities that reside in 9, 10, 11, 12, and who knows how high you can go. So every individual is different. I just had a student at my November reunion for my level 4 or 5s go higher than I'd ever seen. I'd never been that high. I was like, whoa, way to go. What fun is this? And I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. So that could be you. Maybe that's meant to be you. And all that student did was, basically, change herself and resolve everything that was in the way of her bringing in her highest qualities. So you ask yourself, what are your highest qualities? What are you meant to bring in? Are you meant to be just amazing with the animal world? Are you meant, like another student I have, she might be here today, who's older, over 30, and has gone back to school to learn how to be a vet tech. The fact that she's not college age isn't stopping her. I see this all the time. I'm so inspired by so many of you who are really remaking yourselves and figuring out, who you really want to be. I'm always waking up at 40 or 50 or 60 and saying, okay, who do I want to be now? Because I want to be that new person. I want to bring in all that new energy and all that wisdom that I realize I've acquired in the previous 10 years. So a lot of it is in your higher chakras, and that takes meditation, it takes dedication, it takes being of service, and mainly it takes getting out of your own way. Just getting out of your own way. And we don't realize it, but I promise you, as you age gracefully, you will find out that a large part of your life you've been in your own way. That the things you wanted to accomplish, the only reason you didn't was because you were in the way. And once you stop doing that, which just takes awareness, self-awareness, you one day you just stop doing it. And you're like, hey, I don't have to do that anymore. I can just be me, the real, unvarnished, authentic me with all of my foibles. Spirit wants you just the way you are, with all of your idiosyncrasies, frankly, and bad habits. Yep, they like you. They don't care if you're 20 pounds overweight or still lisping or still can't spell or whatever. Spirit just doesn't care about that. Spirit only cares about what's in your heart, really what's in your heart. And so I really want to encourage you to use this very special time between the 6th or 7th of December and the 6th or 9th or 12th of January to go high in your private space, in your meditations, especially early morning. Really go high. And you might also look outside, because thin places are not only in meditation where you can connect with the things outside yourself, but also in places. So for some people, as I wrote in my blog, for some people it could be, I remember one time it was skiing through a forest in January and just nothing but me and the snow and the trees. For you it might be standing watching the waves come in. For someone else it might be going to Stonehenge. So it can be a magic place. Sometimes it's just a magic moment. But we've all had them, right? It can be a moment with another. It can be a moment of intimacy where you just feel your heart just expand and you're connected to all that is through a communion with another person. So there's so many ways to do it. Ritual, ceremony that's real ritual can also sometimes take us there. Maybe for one person it's, candles, and for someone else it's, like choir, and for somebody else it might be Christmas cookies. Oh, wasn't that lovely alliteration? I should have written that down. So, the end of 2020 may bring us thin times, but we can't count on that. We have to protect our health and protect ourselves and our spirit as best we can in difficult times. So with all that said, again, do click on my link over here in the chat window, that deborahking.com/webinar, or if you're Facebooking us right now, just go grab it off your phone, /webinar, and come next Thursday and hear more about what I was just talking about, but more in depth on the subject of all the things that you can do to better enhance yourself here now. That's your physicality and your body and your emotions and your soul all at once. All right. We will now meditate for 20 minutes, and we'll just go into silence. If I've taught you to meditate, I've given you a mantra. If I haven't taught you to meditate and you're new here, just hear the sound Om silently in your head, just kind of repeating, and then come over and sign up with my Learn to Meditate course and let me give you a mantra. All right, you guys. See you on the other side, the other side of the gap.
I mean,
Okay, slowly we'll come back to the room or wherever it is you're seated right now. And just take a couple of deep breaths and still with your eyes closed. Just kind of reconnecting to this world and this reality. Just kind of a nice mid-afternoon to late afternoon to early evening kind of an experience. We didn't do anything crazy. So if you were going too fast, you probably noticed the meditation kind of brings you back to neutral. And if you were going too slow, maybe a little bit depressed or tired, it picks you back up to neutral. Great. Okay, we can open our eyes, and it's good to see you all. I guess we're all in the throes of the holiday season, like it or not, huh? Can I take any questions? Do I have any newcomers or someone with a question I haven't had a chance to answer? Just raise your hand. And I'll look around the room. Frank. Hi, Frank. What city are you in?
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
I'm in Brighton, Ontario, just north of, on the north shore of Lake Ontario.
Okay, I bet it's chilly.
Yes, it is, but it's not bad. It's damp. I seem to have a constant, well, first thing I wanted to know what kind of base I have, if I have a good base for meditating. I've been doing it for a while. And,
It looks very settled.
okay. And I have a constant ringing in my ears. I was wondering if you know what that might be.
Has it been diagnosed? Have you had it listened to?
No, not yet. I don't want to go to, I didn't, I just started, maybe when I stopped my 40-something year addiction in October on 24th.
Well, congrats to that. Hey, well, I'll give you a big cheer.
Thank you.
What was the substance?
Well, the last thing was pot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I've done them all
Uh-huh.
for a long time.
Uh-huh. Well, you're clean and sober now. That's what matters.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, and the meditation will really clear out a lot of the, I want to say smoke, because that's what it feels like. It just feels like debris.
Yeah, I was pretty chronic.
Yeah, it'll give you a lot more clarity, and you'll start to feel better. Tinnitus is the fancy word for ringing in the ears. And it just started like a couple weeks ago or a little longer than that?
Well, when I quit smoking
October?
there, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I know I should go to the doctor, but right now with all this COVID stuff, I'm trying to stay away from that.
I wouldn't rush in to have it looked at. First of all, it's not typically critical. Okay. And, next summer, when things have calmed down, would be just as good a time. It's really common. It's also common in people who have a lot of spirituality. Let's take a view of the room for a minute and see a show of hands. Anybody here have ringing in their ears? See how many of us raise our hands. It's pretty common.
Okay.
Well, Frank, you're in good company.
Okay. I thought it was just, I always felt like a weirdo, so I thought it was just another weirdo thing.
It is. We're all just weirdos here.
Yeah, true.
But it's pretty common among the spiritually evolved. I don't know why. I remember noting it myself about 6 or 7 years ago, and I actually went and had it looked at, and the guy said, well, you don't, it's kind of a funny story. So you go in and, they send you down the hall to the audiologist who has you sit in a little booth, and you hit a pin if you can hear something. If you hear something, you go, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
I wear hearing aids.
Uh-huh. Oh.
So I know the test, but I didn't have it when I didn't have ringing then, but I was smoking then too.
Hasn't the thought occurred to you that your settings might just be a little bit off?
No, if I take them out, they still have the ringing.
You still have the ringing, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a little different. That's a little different. So I, I think that your hearing might have improved when you stopped that last addiction.
Yes.
And so your settings, as I said, are a little bit off.
Oh, that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just need to give it time and just
Whenever you feel
continue with
safe
my
about,
meditating.
well, you want to see somebody whenever you feel safe about
Yes.
sitting in a little room with someone. I wouldn't rush.
Yes.
I wouldn't rush. It's
Yeah.
not the safest idea.
No, not right now. That's
Yeah.
why I've been hesitating.
Yes, I would encourage you to wait. It doesn't feel life-threatening in any way.
Okay. Well, I used to work with explosives underground and with tools and, before I'm retired now, but before they had, wearing safety equipment for your ears and all that back in those days, right? Back in the 70s, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it might be from that also.
Well, that could be why you're wearing hearing aids.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty common.
And I've been to a few rock concerts.
Yeah, that'll do it. Honestly, that'll do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, wonderful to have you, and we all are very excited and enthused about your achievement. And we
Thank
want to
you.
we want to give you a big hand here and keep you on the program.
Thank you.
I
I've done the master's course way back and original at
Wonderful.
Mind Valley.
Wonderful. Well,
So I've
great.
been meditating since then, kind of.
Oh my God. Well, we didn't do that. I didn't allow enough time for the sutras, which is what you learned in the master's class
I
today.
do it every morning.
But we will next week.
Okay.
Wonderful. Oh, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got a really solid base there, Frank.
Thank you.
Yeah, good for you.
Okay. Good to hear. I feel better.
Very nice seeing you. Okay, someone else have a question? Christine, where are you, Christine?
I'm in Arizona, Phoenix area.
Okay. How can I?
Okay, I know we've probably covered this in some of the classes I've taken with you, but I may not remember. Sometimes in the morning when I know I have maybe 30 minutes. So to me, that's a short amount of time, even though the 20-minute meditation, then to do the sutras.
Uh-huh.
I'm aware of the time after 15 minutes. I might look at the watch, and the question I have is, should I go back to doing another 5 minutes of meditation and not do the sutras if I don't have time, or can I go ahead and start the sutras at that time?
I wouldn't start them.
No, don't. Okay. And then the next question I would have is, can sutras be done separate? So later on in the day?
They can. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I was taught not to teach that initially, get people to get their feet wet with it for at least 6 months before pointing out that that is a possibility.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know.
And something else that's really common, you might wake up really early, 2, 3, 4 a.m. You can always meditate after 2, by the way, just not before 2. If you meditate before 2 a.m., you're still in the part of your sleep cycle that needs to sleep, and so it's very disruptive. But if you wake up at 2:30 or 3 or any time after that, you can always meditate. And often you will fall asleep before you get to the sutras or shortly as you start into them. And then when you wake up at 6 or something, you can always do the sutras then.
But when you do that, do you want to put yourself in a seated position to do
Yes.
the meditation always?
Yes, always. Yeah,
Okay.
because the body, when you lay down, the body says, oh, we're supposed to go into the sleep state, not the meditative state.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, good questions. Good questions. Anybody else have a question? Is it Seema? Hi, Seema, where are you?
So, sorry. Hi, I'm also in Ontario, Waterloo in Canada.
Do you know Frank?
No,
You guys are practically
no,
neighbors.
but yeah, nice to meet you, but I just met him now.
Okay.
So I was, yeah, sorry. I'm taking your course on Mind Valley for
Wonderful.
your master's class. Yeah, I'm really
Great.
enjoying it. It's wonderful. And I don't know if I made a mistake or so. I was taking it with everyone else, and then somehow, like in the third week, I felt like I'm not deep into the practice. So I just sort of felt like I have to go back and do them again. And I went back and started from week 1, and now I'm in week 2. And I don't know, this worry that I'm not there yet, I'm not deep in it, I cannot do it or so. I just wanted to ask you this, if you can feel that the sutra has been seated properly and if my meditation is right.
They are. You just had some internal guidance to reflect further on the first couple of weeks, and that's all right. That's not a problem.
Mhm. So I
That's
just,
perfectly all right. Yeah, you look fine and everything's working perfectly.
oh, okay, so my meditation is also is
It's
okay,
very
like,
good. It's very good. Plus,
okay.
you have a genetic, you have a heredity. I keep hearing the word favor, which in that system probably means like a bonus or a plus or aren't you lucky kind of a favor from a heritage. Do you have some wonderful grandparents or great grandparents that were
Mhm.
very spiritually evolved?
Yeah, my grandma was she was very religious, but
Is,
some
is it like
us
is it like Sufi? I keep saying swirling.
Sufi. I'm not aware of my grandparents,
Uh-huh.
like grandparents maybe, but I'm from Iran, so
Oh yeah,
maybe.
that's why I'm seeing it. Oh yeah, there I get the goosebumps, and that means that
Mm.
I've had a hit, a correct hit.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
you're very lucky. You've got some real coursing through you in your DNA. You've got something very special going on.
oh,
You're
that's
going to have
wonderful.
you're going to have quite the experience, and will be able to guide and teach.
Oh, I see. Because that was my second question. Because I'm in my PhD right now, and I'm
What's it
doing
again?
it. It's chemical
I
engineering.
knew you were going to say engineering. I just knew it.
Oh, okay.
I was about ready to say something totally opposite, like engineering.
Yeah, it's totally opposite, but my life experiences have sort of like pushed me into this direction. I was really wanted to manifest something, and I get so
Do
much
you,
deep
do
into
you want to
healing.
do you want to do chemical engineering, or are you just doing it for some other reason?
Um, I did it back from Iran, and then because I was interested in math, and I still wanted to do research, and sort of like in my dream, I wanted to be a researcher and I wanted to help scientific work, but I'm not sure if I was meant for that.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my question. Like now that I'm in my last year, I want to see like I also need to work on my career, like what I should do after
Well, it's
this.
going to look awesome on your resume, but I'm not really seeing you practicing much chemical engineering. But it'll look
Okay,
great, when you graduated and there is your BS or whatever you get. And then I feel you're going to be doing something else.
I see.
Mhm.
Um,
Something,
so
something more related to your heritage.
oh, so something related to spirituality.
Yeah, or helping people in that way. Uh-huh.
Hmm. Uh,
You might
sure.
you might get some additional, I'm sensing you'll get some additional training.
I'm having some terrible life experiences which are teaching me a lot about different things. I
Uh-huh.
don't I sort of feel like these experiences are meant for me to learn, and I'm into some deep learning about life,
Uh-huh.
um, which has been tremendous, like lately, a little bit difficult for me. My last question would be, I've been doing your timeless meditation, not very long time, but I was wondering if that has any effect on me, like how I've been able to, um,
Well, all of this has had quite an effect on you. you're kind of blasting through the material. It's somewhat ironic that you went back and restudied 2 of the sessions, because you're faster than most students, not slower. So there's part of you that is slowing the thing down, because it's unconsciously you're realizing how fast you are expanding.
Okay.
You're expanding very quickly, and yeah. So
Yeah.
just put your seatbelt on and enjoy the ride.
Okay.
You shouldn't worry about a thing. You're so designed for this. Everyone here is envious. We all wish we had your spiritual heritage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty amazing. It is not a small thing.
Thanks so much for
Yeah.
all this, and thanks a lot for the course. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, thank you for taking it. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Somebody else? David. Hi, David. Where are you? You're muted. I've talked to you before. I recognize you. What city are you in?
Okay, I'm in southern Indiana.
Okay.
Okay, so I have this thing that just keeps coming up. I try to get into an exercise routine, and then I wind up hurting my leg. Like the last couple times, it's been a left calf. I've had issues with my knees like ever since I was a teenager. Is there something energetic going on, or is it just all physical?
No, it's energetic, and it's your body type. You are very Vata. That's
Really?
the air quality. Yeah, no, it's pretty pronounced. I mean, you look. Are you familiar with a little bit with Ayurveda
am,
types? I mean, you
Not
look.
super, but yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you look super Pitta, which is the fire. You have the coloring and the beautiful hair and everything, but you feel, to me, very Vata, which is the air. And us air people have very insubstantial and not very strong joints. And try telling that to us when we want to go run or ski or
Okay.
yeah. So you're just working uphill with that. You're just not a big, robust, big jointed kind of person.
Okay.
Yeah. Sad,
Interesting.
but
I had, yeah,
sad but true.
I've been told that I was maybe close to like tri-doshik.
And
But
you might be quick though. Are you quick?
yeah, at like
I don't
physically?
know. Physically, you move pretty fast.
No.
No?
I've always been more heavy,
Like a turtle.
lifting weights, more endurance. I wrestled, not a good sprinter.
Yeah, but see, wrestling and endurance, that's great when you're under, say,
Yeah.
35. Are you maybe a hair over 35?
A little, yeah.
Little? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's when it all changes. So we have our kapha period when we're young.
Okay.
It's too bad. It's everything's backwards. We need it when we're older. But it's kapha, up till, I don't know, 30-ish, and then pitta up till like 50 or so, 55, and then you go into your vata. And that's why everyone over 55 wants to move someplace warm like Florida.
Yeah, I'm not to 55 yet.
No,
but-
of course not.
Yeah, but interesting. Okay, I had no idea
Yeah.
about the Vata.
Yeah,
So,
you've moved out of one time period and into another, it feels like. And you're
Okay.
still wanting to be that weightlifting, robust.
yeah,
So just go easier.
Yeah.
Go easier on your legs.
okay.
You
Okay.
feel very healthy.
I normally do, but it's just frustrating because I can't stay in a routine to exercise.
Yeah.
Like just something keeps happening. But but I did, like when I was in high school, I played a lot of sports, and I used my knees like were loose or something, like they
Right.
would come out of joint and I'd have to pop them back in.
That's very Vata.
Okay.
Yeah. We could sit here
Interesting.
and talk all day. I could tell you about all my ski racing accidents.
I like skiing too,
Well, me too.
and I always fall. Oh, that's great. Interesting.
Well, very nice
Thank you.
to see you. Yeah, you're very welcome.
Yeah, it's good to
Anybody
talk to you
else
again.
have a question? Yeah. Somebody, is it, what's your first name? Is it DeBabes? Or is that your last name?
That's a nickname, Di Babes.
Di
It's
Babes.
It's Diana or Di.
Okay, hi, where are you,
Hi.
Di Babes?
I am in Southern Indiana as well.
Okay,
I took your course on Mind Valley and loved it, and I go back to it a lot.
uh-huh.
But I have a problem. Like, I'm very physically active. I'm a personal trainer and I work out all the time. But every single time I meditate, I'm sitting up, I got my hands on my thighs, I fall asleep. So I
Well,
wondered if you
you
could
do
see
it-
something in me that I'm doing wrong or.
If it's every single time and not just once out of every 6 or 7, it means you're sleep deprived. Well,
I
it
thought you were
does.
going to say that.
And you feel, I'm just looking at you, you feel sleep deprived.
I do.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is the season, fall, you guys, is when we really need to amp up our sleep. You know, nature, that's why nature turns the lights off, right? Okay. Honestly, we just need to get at least an hour more sleep every night. And I want to encourage you to do that because you do feel tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do your program, do meditation and sutra right after you wake up.
Right after I wake up, even if it's like 4:45.
In the morning? Oh, that's the
Yeah.
ideal time.
It
Just
is?
slightly before sunrise. Yeah, that's when the opening between this world and the other world is most open.
So
Right?
I kind of have a problem with that, and I'm so glad I get to ask you this. So 3 days a week, as soon as I wake up, it's like get up and go. Coffee's on, clothes are set, and I'm out the door, and I have a class like
Uh-huh.
20 minutes after I wake up. So I'm like, do I need to wake up like way earlier to do my
No,
meditation
just
before I work out?
do it the other days of the week. And instead meditate a little bit, maybe a shorter program and do it later in the day on the days you have to race out the door.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So do it on the opposite days that I work out, and then on the days I do work out, just get it in
A little
somewhere.
later, a little later. Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, now I wouldn't suggest this to anyone else who's sitting here listening. This is just a prescription for her, for some special needs I'm sensing
I thought if you told me
they're
no,
actually unconscious.
yeah, I thought if you said no, you need your 30 minutes twice a day and it has to be first thing, I didn't know how I was going to do it.
That's why I'm telling you that there's no requirement for you, because I have sensed I'm looking at your defense mechanisms. So everybody here studied that with me, right? You all know a little bit about the body type characterology I teach. You guys aren't all nodding, so maybe not. It's in my level 1 of my Life Force Energy Healing Program. I just love teaching it, by the way. Maybe Tiffany could drop a link. My friend Tiffany's here, I know today. Tiff, drop a link in the chat window to level 1. If you guys haven't taken it, you really should, because it's a really fun thing I teach where you look at people and you can figure out right away what defense they're probably using if they're, it's not the way they behave all the time. It's just if they feel uncomfortable, like their back's up against a wall. And we all have them. Some of us can do all of them. And then as we become more aware of them and become more conscious, we quit doing it. But I was looking at Di's defense pattern and sensing that what she needed was a lot of flexibility and freedom. And that this will iron out for her personally a little bit down the road. So again,
I'm going to retire in a week and a half.
Well, that's when it'll be. So this is very temporary for her, because that's not a meditation schedule I would suggest to anyone else, because it's not the best. Best is first thing in the morning all the time. Does that make sense?
Those, you were telling that other guy he was, pizza and all the personality things. I can't think of what you.
That's what we're talking about right now, the personality.
Can you tell what I am? Because I tried to go through it a few times and pick, and I kept picking a couple.
I think you can do 4 out of 5. I think you can probably do schizoid, which is leaving your body if you're uncomfortable. You just go right out your head. You can probably do rigid, which is looking good no matter the cost. And you were a minute ago doing masochist, which is interesting because you're not physically built like one, but that's where there's a lot of pressure from the top down, where if you tell that person what to do, they become explosive.
Okay.
I don't think you can do oral. That's number 2. I don't think you can do that one at all. Well, this is fun, you guys. Thank you, Di.
You're welcome.
So time for one more question. Looks like Carol has her hand in the air. Is that Carol? Is that a hand in the air? Or is that, oh, that's your hair. Oh, don't you have lovely hair? Wow. I can just barely see you. It's AYL and you're in the dark.
Because I am outside. Thank you, Deborah.
Where are you? I lost you. You were here a second ago.
I am in Wisconsin.
You're in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I am new to your program, but not to your teachings.
Yes.
I was wondering if I'm doing right, and what can I do to achieve to my full spiritual potential? Do I have any blocks? Because I have a very heavy work schedule, quite a mental.
What's your meditation like?
I do night times. Like, unfortunately, in the mornings I can't
'Cause you have
do
to
it.
leave. Uh-huh.
No, not that. I do, but I get sleepy because I work very late.
Uh-huh.
So
You're
I like
another
to sleep.
person. How do you say your first name?
Ayla.
Isla. Isla, you're another person that feels very sleep deprived to me. You also feel a lot of anxiety, I'm picking up. Is
Yeah.
that the case? I'd love to see you changing your schedule around, maybe maybe go in and talk to somebody and work a different schedule, because you feel a little too stressed to me. It's not great. I'd like to see you take some action to turn that around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would do it now. I wouldn't wait.
I see.
Set a deadline for yourself that by the end of 2020, you're going to have a different schedule at work. So you're not so stressed.
I see.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
And next
Thank you.
time you come, get a little front light there so I can see you.
Yes, sorry, it's getting
No,
dark
that's
out
all
in
right. Hey, listen, I can do this in the dark, but it would be fun for everybody else to see you.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Well, great being with you guys. Again, be sure to come. Well, first of all, you have to sign up to come. Go sign up at my link there, /webinar. Just throw your name and your email address in there and come next Thursday. You're going to be interested. It's pretty interesting stuff, I know. All right, great being with you all. Everybody take care.